Hello everybody, it's me Nate aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another game review. This time I'm reviewing Jitsu Squad. It was published and developed by Taniki Creative Studio and originally launched on March 30th, 2022 on Windows, but has just seen a console release as of December 21st, 2022 on basically all consoles. Now, let's get into the major plot of this game. It's a classic four-player beat 'em up. It really is. So if you played other beat 'em ups like Streets of Rage, Final Fight, or even TMNT Shredder's Revenge, you will know basically what you are getting into with this, where you play as four different characters as you scroll from left to right, beating the tar out of any enemy that appears on screen, with epic boss battles that you fight and some other things as well. But as for the overall plot of this, I'm gonna kind of tell you what it says right here. This is the story of the legendary hidden Kusanji stone and the warriors seeking it. Containing the soul of a powerful demon, the Kusanji stone can grant godly powers to those who awaken it. Now the wicked sorcerer Origami has summoned and cursed ancient warriors to find the stone for him. You play as Hero, Baby, Jazz, and Aros, and together they are the Jitsu Squad. Control the entire Jitsu Squad in single-player mode or play with up to 4 people in local couch co-op. Now, that kind of sums up what the overall game is. It is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with a pretty nice art style, good control, good combos. Honestly, I didn't find myself having any issues in terms of creating different combos in this game. You go through different stages, I think 8 stages total, and they claim there are 500 different combos that you can chain together. Now, personally, after playing this, I think it is split amongst the 4 different characters, so you get like 125 different combos per character for the total 500. I could be wrong from what I have played and seen. I would have to say I think that's what they did to get the total 500 different combos. You also have the different abilities as you go through of upgrading your character with collecting scrolls as you defeat enemies that allow you to learn new moves and also do super moves, as I call them, super transformations, where you basically have a screen wiping Final Fantasy style finisher move that allows you to actually defeat all of the characters on screen. In order to do this, you have to beat enemies in certain ways that basically get your meter bar filled up in order to do the super move. It's pretty standard fare if you've actually played a side-scrolling beat 'em up that they're like this, design. Now, the one thing I will say that is interesting with it is the art style is very vibrant, very colorful. The animation is really top-notch. Honestly, it's a charming yet weird game, including different levels that you have with like bonus levels where you do everything from slashing tuna, sushi rolls to other stuff. It's rather interesting. It does have voice acting and some cutscenes to it. Most of the cutscenes are somewhat animated. They're not fully animated. And it does tell a decent story of what you're doing to get from point A to point B as you travel different worlds in your spaceship fighting all these enemies. Honestly, like I said, hands down, I think the art style and the charm of this is actually up there. But if you're expecting something really unique and standing out of the box, I can't really say it has really anything new it brings to the table. I mean, one button does your main attack, another button does your sub attack based on what alternate weapon that you have. You have your standard issue jump button, and pressing in certain directions combined with these other button presses do certain moves as you unlock them. Of course, then you can press the one button, I think it's circle button, to do your super move once you've charged it up enough. And that's really about it gameplay wise, other than mixing and matching to get different combos. It It does have different parts where you fight epic boss battles on your way through this game, but if you look at it in total size and scope, it's only roughly, give or take, about 8 levels, and you can do some pretty cool stuff, including the act of a 4-player co-op, which is only local. There is no online to be able to play this online, so if you want to play it with up to 4 players, you have to play it in couch co-op, which is kind of annoying. I mean, nowadays, you can't really do that anymore. So the fact that they don't have an online mode with this is kind of disappointing, but it doesn't destroy the game. Plus, if you're playing through in single player mode, they do have a mode where you can switch and play as all 4 of the characters, combining and juggling them together to do their connection combos and epic super moves, which is actually pretty cool. I did like that part. And like the fact of infinite juggles is kind of cool too. You can constantly juggle an enemy until you defeated them. Like I said, the one mode is called tag mode, which I actually like the best. I don't have 3 other people to come over and 3 other PS5 or PS4 controllers. I wasn't able to play this in the 4-player mode, which actually is a disappointment. I would love to see how this would play 4 players. Now, I did have some issues while playing this game. Now, keep in mind, I am playing the PS4 version, not the PS5, but I did have some problems with some screen tearing. I had a couple issues where the game just flat out broke on me and froze up, and I had to restart all the way from where I was at. But I didn't really lose that much progression because it did have an autosave feature that was kind of pretty decent. Now, if you play this game, you're looking at maybe give or take only about maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours long for it. And the price that they are charging for it is $30. Now, keep in mind this is for the PS4 version. I'm not sure if the PS5 version is actually more or less. I know the PC version is less. It's at $20. So, honestly, I would have to say I had a lot of fun with this. It was a fun game to play. It didn't overstay its welcome. Visually, it's very appealing. The animation is very vibrant and bright, and I did like it. The characters are kind of goofy, but honestly, especially the enemies, some of the enemies just look really stupid. Like the Yakuza ripoffs, they looked really dumb with the big bobbleheads. But honestly, I still had a fun time playing through this game. The only thing I would have to say is I think that some of the enemy character designs are really stupid looking. But the actual playability of it was fast, it was frantic, and when it didn't crash, it was a really fun time playing through this. The only thing I have to say, for only being a 2-hour long game, I wish it was cheaper. I can't sit here and say that I think for $30 for a 2-hour experience that doesn't really add much in terms of replayability, because once you play through and beat this, there really aren't really any new modes that unlocked. So I can't really say it's got a lot of replayability. For me, this seemed almost like a one and done, even though it was fast, frantic, and fun, and very visually appealing with the animation and graphics. The story was kind of rather generic. It really was. But in the end, I would have to say it was still a fun time. So if you have a chance to play Jitsu Squad, and you don't mind paying $30 for a 2-hour long adventure, I can say it's not bad. It is worth playing through at least once. I wish it was cheaper. I really do. I think this is a minimum. Like the PC version, I think this should be $20 period. At $20 for a 2-hour game, I wouldn't have a problem with it. For $30 on consoles, I think that's just a little bit too high, even though the quality of this title is pretty good. Honestly, other than a couple crashes I had, fundamentally, it plays great. The combos are fluid. It's fast. It's frantic. I love the upgrades that you get. There's no upgrade system or anything. It's mainly just unlocking them as you get enough scrolls as you play through the game. But the super moves reminded me of stuff out of Final Fantasy. And in the end, I had a really good time with this title. And I can recommend playing it as long as you don't mind paying $30 for only a 2-hour long game that has no sort of online components. But in the end, that's just my own personal opinion on Jitsu Squad. Please leave in the comments below if you agree or disagree with me. If there's anything in this review that you felt I left out, please leave in the comments. I will answer each and every single one of them. And remember, here at Devil Dog Gaming, we always end our videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.